Episode 3. Bayern Munich are chasing a Champions League crown with Harry Kane at the center, and now they are being linked with Brian Brobbey as competition. Newcastle United are being paired with Jose Mourinho before Eddie Howe is even sacked. Real Madrid are raging over Eduardo Camavinga's red card while asking if their entire project is wobbling. If you think this week is just about results, you are missing the power plays underneath. We are back on Just Soccer, and the noise around Bayern Munich tells you exactly how elite clubs think when they smell both opportunity and risk. Let us start with Harry Kane and why Brian Brobbey's name is suddenly in the room. Bayern's European high only makes this rumor more interesting. Transfer rumors: Bayern want Brobbey to provide competition for Kane. This link is not about replacing Harry Kane, it is about protecting Bayern Munich from the one scenario they cannot afford: Kane missing time. When a dominant club talks about competition, it often means they are quietly planning for vulnerability. ESPN FC reports that Bayern Munich are interested in RB Leipzig striker Brian Brobbey. The framing is careful. This is not presented as a headline signing to displace Harry Kane. It is described as competition, which tells you everything about the hierarchy. Kane remains the axis of Bayern's attack. His influence on their Champions League run is obvious, but elite clubs do not wait for disaster before acting. Brobbey, younger and physically imposing, fits the profile of a rotational forward who can absorb minutes without demanding the spotlight immediately. There is also psychology here. Even superstars respond to internal pressure. A credible alternative keeps standards sharp. Bayern are not declaring dissatisfaction with Kane, they are managing risk in public, and that is a very different message. From striker insurance to managerial roulette, the tone shifts quickly. Transfer rumors: Newcastle could turn to Mourinho if Howe is sacked. This is less about Jose Mourinho arriving and more about Newcastle United broadcasting that patience has limits. Dropping Mourinho's name into the conversation instantly raises the emotional temperature, even if nothing is concrete. ESPN FC's transfer talk suggests that Newcastle could consider Jose Mourinho if Eddie Howe were to be sacked. That conditional is doing heavy lifting. Howe has not been officially dismissed, and there are no confirmed negotiations with Mourinho. Still, the mere association matters. Mourinho represents short-term intensity and immediate accountability. If Newcastle ever went down that path, recruitment would change overnight. Profiles would shift toward experience and tactical obedience rather than long-term development. Right now, this feels like pressure rather than process. It reminds everyone that results matter, but flirting with that narrative without a decision can destabilize a dressing room just as quickly as a bad run of form. If Newcastle's story is about pressure, Chelsea's is about perception. Chelsea set for an Alejandro Garnacho decision amid scrutiny of a £92 million double transfer plan. When a £92 million figure dominates the headline without firm sourcing, skepticism is not negativity, it is common sense. Chelsea have become the easiest club in England to attach to big numbers and vague ambition. There are reports suggesting Chelsea face a decision involving Alejandro Garnacho and a £92 million double transfer plan. The issue is simple. The supplied evidence does not verify a confirmed bid, an agreement, or even clear structure around that number. Garnacho is a high-profile name, and linking him with Chelsea guarantees attention. But there is a difference between strategic interest and speculative inflation. No confirmed personal terms, no official offer, no concrete timeline. Chelsea's recent transfer history makes any large figure feel plausible. That does not make it real. Until stronger sourcing emerges, this reads more like narrative gravity than actionable movement. While Chelsea wrestle with image, other clubs are quietly scanning the market. Football transfer news live. Arsenal want a Como defender. Man City join race for an Eredivisie star. Live transfer roundups are signals of direction, not guarantees of destination. Interest does not equal urgency, and joining a race does not mean winning it. Het point alle foot. Rapport hebben IRO. Estre, ons vandaan pip a feeling. FA charge upheld. Harry Maguire banned for Manchester United trip to Chelsea. Disciplinary rulings expose how fragile squad planning can be at the top level. Manchester United now face a selection issue and a narrative storm at the same time. ESPN FC reports that Harry Maguire will miss Manchester United's trip to Chelsea after his Football Association charge of improper conduct was upheld. The Guardian adds that an additional one-match ban was linked to his reaction and a joke comment toward officials. This is not theoretical. It removes an experienced defender from a high-profile fixture and forces immediate adjustment. Beyond tactics, it feeds the broader conversation around leadership and discipline. When a senior figure becomes the headline for the wrong reason, the club's margin for error shrinks. Across Europe, frustration is burning hotter.
Real Madrid fuming at Camavinga red card as they exit UCL to Bayern.
Eduardo Camavinga's red card became the symbol of Real Madrid's exit, but symbols can oversimplify complex defeats. Anger at officiating is natural, yet it can distract from structural questions. ESPN FC reports that Real Madrid were furious after Eduardo Camavinga was sent off in their Champions League quarterfinal elimination to Bayern Munich. Alvaro Arbeloa described the red card as crucial, and Jude Bellingham called the decision a JOA key. The dismissal changed the rhythm of the tie and amplified the sense that control slipped away in knockout football. One moment can tilt everything, but elite projects cannot be evaluated on a single whistle. If Madrid's ambitions hinge on one refereeing call, then the problem runs deeper than discipline. On the other side of that drama, Bayern Munich are celebrating.
Kane hails special night as Bayern oust Real and reach Champions League semis.
Harry Kane's influence is no longer a theory of Bayern Munich. It is a competitive advantage. Big European nights validate recruitment strategy more loudly than any press release. ESPN FC highlights Harry Kane describing it as a special night after Bayern Munich secured a 4-2-3 aggregate victory over Real Madrid to reach the Champions League semi-finals. Late goals, composure under pressure, and belief define the tie. Kane's presence is not just about finishing. It is about rhythm and authority when chaos creeps in. This is not a contract update or transfer teaser. It is confirmation that Bayern's investment in Kane continues to anchor their biggest ambitions. While some players rise on European nights, others face brutal setbacks. France confirmed Ekitike Achilles will miss the World Cup. An Achilles injury is not a minor interruption, it is a career-altering test of patience. International tournaments magnify the emotional weight of long-term rehabilitation. ESPN FC reports that France have confirmed Hugo Ekitike will miss the World Cup due to an Achilles injury. Ekitike plays for Paris Saint-Germain, and the absence is officially acknowledged. There is no shortcut with this kind of injury. Recovery timelines demand caution and discipline. For France, it reshapes attacking options. For Ekitike, it pauses a global platform at the worst possible moment. In North London, progress came without fireworks.
To reach Champions League semi-final.
Advancement without spectacle can still signal maturity. Arsenal's semi-final qualification strengthens belief without forcing reckless spending. Sky Sports reports that Arsenal reached the Champions League semi-finals after a 0-0 draw with Sporting at the Emirates, progressing 1-0 on aggregate. It was controlled rather than explosive. Arsenal managed risk, absorbed tension, and refused to gift momentum. Semi-final status shifts perception across Europe. Even without naming targets or deals, it quietly enhances the club's leverage. Below the Premier League spotlight, movement is constant.
EFL Transfer News Roundup.
Championship, League One and League Two rumours, Sky Sports.
The English Football League market is relentless, even when the names are not headline stars. Roundups like this reflect churn, not certainty. Sky Sports' EFL Transfer News Roundup covers rumors across the Championship, League One, and League Two. The provided snippet does not list specific players or confirm negotiations. That absence matters. Without verified names or bids, this remains a temperature check on lower league activity rather than a set of completed moves. Still, these tiers are where squads are rebuilt quietly. Promotions and relegations are often shaped by deals that barely register outside their divisions. Madrid's frustration does not end with one red card. After Champions League defeat, can Real Madrid's project be salvaged? When Real Madrid exit Europe, the debate immediately escalates from tactics to philosophy. Projects at this level are judged in silverware, not sentiment. ESPN FC poses the question of whether Real Madrid's project can be salvaged after their Champions League defeat to Bayern Munich. The focus is big picture, not on confirmed transfers or sales. Despite a comeback attempt, elimination reignites scrutiny over squad balance, leadership cycles, and long-term planning. Madrid are rarely patient with transitional narratives. The coming months will test whether this is viewed as a stumble or a structural warning. Zooming out from individual clubs, the broader Champions League conversation is just as sharp. UCL talking points. Bayern favorites after Madrid drama? Slot's bizarre choices. European knockouts amplify every decision, especially the strange ones.
Milliards.
Momentum can turn Bayern Munich into favorites overnight, but favorites carry new pressure. ESPN's talking points highlight Bayern Munich's dramatic win over Real Madrid and question whether that chaos now makes them favorites. The same coverage critiques Arne Slot's decision to start Alexander Isak for Liverpool, describing it as a choice that backfired. These are the margins that define knockout football. Selection calls that look bold before kickoff can look reckless after elimination. As the semifinals approach, narratives harden quickly. Bayern's surge and Liverpool's missteps will shape how opponents prepare and how supporters believe. That is the real pattern this week. Some clubs are insulating themselves against risk, others are reacting to pressure. A few are simply being used as headline magnets. The trick is not to chase every rumor, but to ask who benefits from it right now. That is where the truth usually hides.